Okay, who am I speaking here with today?
I'm Mr. Rajmund Niwinski. I teach U.S. history, world history, and language arts at Waterford, Kettering High School.
Okay, so I kind of just want to sit down and talk to you real quick today, just to kind of see like what your backstory was and like why you wanted to become a teacher.
Of course.
So, what made your family like want to migrate to the U.S.?
So we're going really far back.
Yeah.
So I believe it was 1992, 1993. So my dad and my mom were born in Poland. They lived in a small town called Góra, which is in the southwestern side of Poland, right by the Czech border. My dad had just gotten out of college. I think he was like 3 years out of college. He got his master's in physical therapy, and there wasn't a lot of work available for him. My grandfather, his dad, was also a physical therapist in Góra, so he already had like a place to work at, but the pay wasn't great. This was at a time when Poland was it was still kind of getting out of communism, and there was a lot of labor shortages, and there was a lot of wage issues. People weren't getting paid very well.
So they weren't exactly like hitting the jackpot there.
No, the inflation was really bad too. Just economically, it was not a great place to be. Poland in the 90s also was not incredibly safe. It was fairly dangerous. Crime was pretty rampant. Actually, my uncle from my mom's side got beat up by like a gang of hoodlums a couple years back, and they cracked a part of his skull. And then my cousin was with him too, and he had his what's it called? It was like his shoulder was broken from it. So like there's quite a bit of hooliganism in Poland. It's not super safe. So they wanted to leave. My dad he wanted to go anywhere outside of Poland. So he was actually offered to go to, it was through a company that would hire him as a physical therapist to work abroad. And he would get like a green card, so temporary citizenship for work. And he was going to go originally to Australia, I think. So I could have been Australian. Or Italy. So it was between like Italy, Australia, and Poland, and America. And he ended up finalizing with America. There was a position open in Michigan, and that's how he ended up in Michigan. Him and my mom were married at the time, so like just freshly married. He moved to America with like $12, I think, or $15, so he had literally nothing. The only way he really survived was that he stayed at his best friend's apartment. Because his best friend Maciek, he had already lived and was working in the U.S. for like a year at that time. But yeah, they wanted to come here because Poland was not a great place to live at the time. It was very rough living there. It was difficult.
So do you still have like friends or like some family members that you still talk to in Poland?
Yeah. I call my aunts and uncles and my cousins usually every time they have a birthday. We talk to them. I used to go to Poland like every year during the summer, but I haven't been there in the last almost 5 years now. So it's been a long time since I've been there, mostly because of COVID. Last time I went was in summer of 2019, so right before the pandemic. And then there was just complications, work. I got a cat, so I can't leave him alone. So going to Poland was becoming less and less of an option, so I haven't seen them in a while. But I still stay in contact with my cousin, Shimon, my aunts and uncles, and just family. I don't have like friends. I have friends that I grew up with in the U.S. that moved back to Poland, but I don't really stay in contact with them anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How, like, what was your big motivation like throughout life? It can be like a person or a thing, but like what
that's hard.
Really motivated you like to pursue like, let's say, like a life career? or like pursuing you to like be a teacher?
To be a teacher, yeah. So I think just like generally through life, who's like I hate to admit it because my brother and I would fight all the time, and he was a pain in the butt when I was growing up. But I stopped myself one time. he really, I mean, my brother's an incredibly intelligent person, and he like is like a machine when it comes to work. He's able to just set his mind to something and do it. And I'm someone that procrastinates a lot. I'm someone that likes to kind of enjoy my time and try to like give myself time to hang out with friends and enjoy life. I don't like the idea of kind of just grinding through everything, but he's the kind of person that does that. He does take time to enjoy life. He has hobbies and stuff like that, but he is someone that's very, very kind of, he's very hardworking and he's very smart. He's a doctor right now, so he's really doing well for himself. He's in his residency right now, but he was very inspirational, not in terms of just my like drive to be better and push myself further, to try out and like not get too comfortable with things, but also like my political beliefs. He's been a pretty big influence on. He really kind of pushed me away from having some really stupid ideas when I was a teenager. So yeah, I'd say I owe a lot to him. Mm-hmm. My parents too played a major role for me.
Oh, what role did you?
My parents?
Yeah.
My parents were very strict. They demanded a lot from me. Took all advanced classes through like high school. I took advanced classes in English and math. Any advanced class that had offered to me in middle school, I had to take it. So I was always kind of pushed to try in the higher level of things and always like have good grades. I was fully capable of being like a 3.9 to 4.0 student at IA. It just wasn't me. I wasn't like my brother. I wasn't really the type of person that could just lock in and grind 24/7 without getting burnt out. I cared too much about my personal life. I cared too much about, girls and stuff, girls, art, paintings, music, stuff like that.
So what made you want to become a teacher at kind of a young age?
I think the first time I really thought about being a teacher was in middle school. I wasn't like completely locked in on it just yet, but it was like an idea. It was something that I had a really positive experience with my 6th grade English and language arts teacher, Mrs. Barron, at Smith Middle School in Troy, Michigan. She doesn't teach there anymore. I checked in recently, but she really, really complimented my work, and she complimented my writing and my process in the class. And she just said she just considered me to be a really good person. Like, she said I was a really good kid, that she really believed in me, and she just made me feel good about myself and about learning and I felt good about like being smart. I like the idea of being intelligent and being able to maybe share that with other people. And yeah, I remember she used one of my essays as like a sample for future classes. So she photocopied it and she would show it to other students later on. One of my friends that was a year younger than me told me that she was using my essay as a sample to teach others how to do an essay properly. And that made me really feel like good about myself.
Mm-hmm. So how am I gonna word this? Do you have like, let's say like a cabin or a property or like something down there in Poland that you can kind of just like live there like throughout the summer?
No, I usually stay at my family's like apartments. So people don't really, not a lot of Polish people, at least in my area, don't really have like houses or cabins really, unless they are farmers. Most people live in apartments. So we usually just stay over at like a spare room at an apartment while we're there in Poland. The main reason why I'm not able to go there right now is because of my cats. I have my brothers and my cat, and someone has to stay behind and take care of them. So I'd have to go to Poland at a different time than my parents, so that someone would be home to take care of them. My cat specifically, he's a bit problematic. He's really like he's easily scared. He doesn't trust people that he doesn't know. He'll like have panic attacks if there's like a stranger in the house. He'll like hide under like a couch in the basement until the stranger is gone, and then he'll come out and be normal. So yeah, I have to be there for him. He's like he has a lot of special needs that he needs to have taken care of. But yeah, that's why I haven't gone. We don't really have any like property in Poland. I have a dual citizenship, so technically I'm a Polish citizen too, but I don't own anything there.
Okay. Well, that was gonna actually bring me to my next question. Like, do you have like anything that is kind of like worth value that like is in, or like that you bought from Poland? Like anything
that I've purchased or that I've gotten?
Like gotten or purchased, like something that means like value to you.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's one very specific thing that I have in my room. It's so my great grandfather used to do like circus shows. So he was a veteran of World War II. He was an officer, and then he was a spy for a period of time, and then. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not like being hyperbolic. This is like legitimate. Like what happened. When Poland fell under the Soviet Union, the regiment that my great grandfather was in was like blacklisted. If you were someone that was part of this like organization, they basically wanted to make it so that your life was as difficult as possible. So whenever my great grandfather would try to find a job or get some sort of position at anything, he would get like hired for a week and then they'd randomly like fire him for no reason. So he didn't have any work that he could do because he would always just get fired randomly. He had no reason for it. Like there's literally like a documentary made about my great grandfather like on Polish TV. So like he's like, this is all legitimate. You can fact check it if you want to. But so he decided, because he had no other thing to do, he decided to do circus shows. So he was like a circus strongman. So he would do shows. I think he did like over 1,000 shows over the course of his life where he would bend steel. So there's pictures of him like bending metal with his bare hands. And I have a piece of bent metal that he used for one of his shows in my bedroom right now. And we have a poster that he would have for his shows that he would put up all over the town whenever he'd travel around and do shows. I have that posted up in my. My family has that posted up in our dining room. So, yeah, that's something that I'm very proud of. He's also someone that I look up to because he was kind of like a hero to the people around him. He was an inspiration. He protected a lot of people during the war, during World War II. So, yeah, that's the one thing I'd say that really matters a lot to me from Poland.
So I see that you've told me that you obviously have like some strong relationships with some people. But who do you think you have like the strongest like relationship or like strongest bond with in your life?
In my life? Oh,
yeah,
that's hard. God, I can't single it out to one person, but
okay, you can make it a couple.
Yeah. I'd say, even though I argue with her quite a bit, and we've had like bad periods, I do. Apparently, I've been told that I'm very similar to my mom in a lot of ways. So I'd say my mom is like, although we don't get along in a lot of ways, we still have an understanding. We still love each other, and we talk to each other every day. She does mean a lot to me, and she's taught me so much. Even though I disagree with her on like a lot of things, she's still extremely inspirational. She's a very, very strong person, and my dad too. And then I'd say probably my girlfriend Haley and my closest friend Joseph, and then another friend of mine, Smith. Those people are people that I can, and then Kasper, my other friends. So I'd say like 3 friends. It would be Joseph, Smith, and Kasper, and then my girlfriend and my parents and my brother. So instead of just one, I picked like 8. But those people I'd say are the most kind of influential and important people in my life. They've really played a major role in kind of shaping who I am and molding me into being who I am. And they're all very different people. which I really appreciate. They all have their own kind of personalities and ideas that have shaped mine. So yeah.
Okay, and then one final question for you.
Yeah.
What is probably one piece of advice you would give to people?
Generally speaking? Don't take life too seriously, I'd say. I do it all the time. I overwhelm myself by making things out to be much bigger than what they are. I overstress and overwork myself or freak out about very minor things that don't end up being like that big of a problem. And I can feel it like shortening my lifespan and giving me stress. So I'd say those things. I'd say, yeah, like kind of taking a moment and kind of just learning to kind of just appreciate what's around you at the time, because it might just disappear when you don't notice it. And we like to get really kind of overwhelmed with work and over fixated on our work that we don't take time to appreciate life for what it should be, which is enjoyment. You should try to enjoy your life to the best of your ability. That's the main thing I say.
All right. Well, thank you for speaking with me today.
Thank you.